Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You gotta eat what you kill. You gotta go out there. You gotta hunt for your meals.
We all have that ability to connect with people, to be that motivational person in somebody's life.
You gotta let people know there's certain lines you don't cross, and that there's gonna be consequences if you do.
Man up.
If you are an adult and you are in a relationship, that person's emotions are not your responsibility.
Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
The devil, during slavery, destroyed the masculinity or manhood of the so-called Negro. No man. No man. Right now you got to be trained all over again to be a man.
When someone is obligated to do something, it is binding upon them to do it. And failure to do it causes reaction.
Man up.
Position make you rich. I don't have that type of richness. My richness is life forever.
If that people knew their glorious past, if that people knew their glorious past, if that people knew their glorious past, then they would be more inclined to respect themselves.
I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job, is to spark somebody else watching us.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You want to tell me about yourself? Go get your friends. I'll tell you who you are based on who your friends are.
Don't just live and die. That's an ugly existence. Make your life matter. Make your life count. Live a life where people can actually mourn you for the things you left behind, not just because you were around and existed.
We need strong black nuclear family.
Yes. Yes.
That's what it is. Mother, father, son, daughter, all in the same house with a focus on the family unit as a whole.
We had Tulsa, Atlanta, New Jersey, Detroit. We had Rosewood. We had Black Wall Streets all over.
The Republicans aren't for us, but the Democrats aren't for us either. And we should have no alliance to any political party. We only have alliance to what is in our own best interest.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
At the end of the day, as men in the community, we must stand together and be counted, because people look to us for guidance, leadership, and protection. And if we are not about that business, we are not on our job. Here we have grown-ass man conversations in the spirit of that purpose. Anthony Malcolm, Bobby Drake, Major Gage, we are. This is Manifestations 2020.
Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Yeah, what's up, fellas? What's going on?
What up?
Yeah. Welcome to Manifestations 2020. What's up? I am your host, Major Gage. I got my mans in them with me, Bobby Drake and Anthony Malcolm, and we are the mighty Manifestations 2020. We in the building. What's up? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, fellas, talk to me real quick before we get into it. Tell me how y'all feeling. How was your week? How's everything? And then we go get into some of the things that's going on out here in these dating and relationship streets. And we're going to talk about what men really like and do not like in women. Go ahead, man. Talk to me real quick. What's up?
Yeah, so I'm a little bit under the weather this week. I don't know if it's
you sound better though.
Yeah, thanks. I sound a lot better than I was before. But
you do.
I don't know. You know, they always fucking with the air, the atmosphere. So I'm out here in the woods, so you know how that go. But back on track, everything good now. Shout out to I think it's Women's National Day. Is it Women's National
International Women's Day? Yes.
International Women's Day. Shout out.
Yes.
Shout out to the women for that. You know, you guys have been phenomenal in our plight of survival, livelihood, in society, been a critical piece. You know, so just getting recognition to all the sisters out there that are doing good work. And if you're not doing the good work, you know, it's never too late to change, you know, directions and get on board. You know, too many legacies are being diminished because we're not continuing and picking up the torch from our elders and ancestors. Remember, we have GPS. One of the great ladies that created GPS. I use that every day on my job. So, you know, without her, my life would be a lot harder right now. You know, the security system, you know, sister created that, you know, so many different ingenious stuff. And we have highlighted them on our show, Crown Check, and gave these for the last 2-3 years. We've been giving these phenomenal elders, our queens, their flowers for doing phenomenal stuff that even to this day, when they have transitioned on to their next life, their work is still working. You know, that's what real legacy is, not twerking, because twerking is going to be another means of a dance that's going to fade out. But put in some real work that when you transition, people still remember your name and talk on podcasts and other forms of communication and speak highly of you and your family. And I land my plane on that.
All facts. Well said, good brother. Happy International Women's Day to all the sisters out there. And like he said, you know, even if you not, you know, shout out to all the sisters that's doing the work and you know, you lit or whatever, even if you not quite right, it's still time to get yourself right. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to you too. We need each other. Shout out to the sisters. We love the ladies. Go ahead, Bobby Drake. What you got, man?
This was an all right week for me. It was a little somber, a little melancholy because unfortunately we celebrated on this past Tuesday the birthday of one of my dear friends who had his life ripped from us way too soon, or Marley.
Sorry to hear that.
It was rough. It was rough. He was, when we talk about it, especially on this show, but just even our personal conversations, when we discuss manhood and masculinity and what that looks like and the values of manhood, 100% Marley was the embodiment of that. He was a very much well-beloved guy, not because he was all buddy or play the radio, but because he genuinely had a good heart, was always looking to be of help, looking to be of service.
Yeah.
Very intelligent, brilliant, business-minded guy. Funny as hell.
Mm-hmm.
It's impossible for you to be in a bad mood and Marley's in the room. As soon as he detects there's a problem, give it about a good 20 seconds and all that goes right out the window. He's not going to even give you the dignity of being in your feelings. He's going to get you right.
Nice.
And he had just recently, before he passed away, this Mother's Day will mark the 3rd year that he's been gone. He had just been initiated into fatherhood, and he was loving every damn minute of it. And I was actually low-key, in the best way, jealous of his son, because I'm like, man, to have that for your pops,
yeah,
it's
dope.
You'll get no better than that. So it hurts that he's no longer with us. At the grave site for the first time this past Saturday with a couple friends. We had some cupcakes. We sat out there for a little bit, laughed, caught up. Swung by the best friend's house. Got to meet my nephew for the first time, a little 5-month-old nephew. Beautiful bundle of joy. So there was pain, there was joy, and it was just life, man. That's how it is. You know, you down one minute, you up the next minute. That's why I keep telling people, you know, try not to buy into too much of anything. You know, your goal in life should be to stay in the middle. If you just start chasing happiness and joy nonstop, you know, you're going to be on an adrenaline kick, but stay in the middle. Don't ever get too carried away by the good times. Don't get too carried away by the bad times, but just strive to be in the moment so you're always in a place of stability. So,
yeah,
my heart is full. I feel good. And I'm glad to be here with y'all brothers for another one.
That's what's up, man. I'm really glad that you're here too as well. You know what I'm saying? It's been a good week. I can't complain at all. You know, I still feel like I'm at sea, man. Like I got back from the cruise last week, man. I'm still not quite here just yet, but I'm getting there. You know what I'm saying? And everything is blessed though, man. Everything is blessed. Did I have any major announcements I want to talk about today? I don't want to talk about anything as far as shouting anybody out, but I did want to shout a couple people down. There's some people who we had some detractors this week, and I don't have an issue with detractors, but this young lady, this young lady named Dominique, she was really, really in her feelings and saying some really reckless and disparaging things. And I just had to kind of check her a little bit because, look, you can feel how you want to feel, but like it was over the video that I put up where the lady was talking about how, you know, she went to the singles event at the church and there were no men. You know, and unfortunately, our good sister Dominique is kind of in that same predicament where she's pushing 40 and, you know, nobody's really checking for her like that. And I met her, you know, whatever, and we spoke and I kind of took pity on her. I'm like, hey, I'll bring you on the show and, you know, help you meet some folks and, you know, kind of get out there, whatever. And, you know, she just got really offended, you know, by some of the truth that was being spoken. And I mean, she was just beside herself in the comments. I'm like, oh my God, you need therapy, sister. So, you know, I'm gonna send some healing her way. I hope she gets it together. She blocked me and Anthony because anybody who knows us know we don't play that shit. You come talking that shit to us, we gonna light your ass up. That's exactly what she got.
So let me say something real quick on that. All right, because I ain't gonna spend no time on it. Right.
Yeah.
The reason why I said something, right? And she said something, and the reason why I said something in the comment section to her is because we don't mind people that's out here being single. If you're being single and you're healing and you're getting yourself together, we don't have a problem with that.
Right.
What we have a problem with is people that are single, not getting themselves together, but then complaining about the men. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Do the work and apply yourself back into the dating pool. But don't be out here saying, yeah, I'm single. And then when people are addressing the issues that other women are having, you want to be the poster child and say something, and you're going to catch stray bullets. And the bullets are going to end up being, they're going to end up killing you because these bullets are lethal. These are hollow tips. These ain't no damn 22s that rumble around your body. These are hollow tips. So don't fucking play. Because these shits rip through, they rip through arteries, they rip through muscles, damaging. So we are not those type of brothers. Take that to the Derek Jackson and the Ace metaphors and those simp dudes that will pander to that. But we don't do that because we know we love sisters so much that we're trying to help them and not sell them dreams to keep continuously being in a miserable state that they are heading in. And I'll land my plane on that.
No, all facts. And that's the thing, you know, if you have something to say, even if you disagree, you know, another guy that, you know, we had another detractor this week, and that was Claude. And Claude act like he don't know me. You know what I'm saying? Like Claude, I went to school with Claude. He acts like he don't know me. Claude, bring your ass up on the platform if you got an issue. Because I don't play like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's always the same amount of bass in my voice, little nigga. And I didn't appreciate you coming on there attacking our brand like that. Talking about, oh, we just, what did he say? That whole ass shit he said? He said that we're just engagement farming. and rage baiting. Nigga, who the fuck you talking to? Bruh, we don't play like that. Like, what we do directly impacts and helps the community. I have sisters right now on one of the threads that I posted this week. They were thanking me for posting because I posted, okay, brothers, what do you like in women? You know, and I tagged the sisters in it. Hey, so the sisters can see what the brothers are saying they like in women. And also, brothers, what do you not like in women? Okay, the sisters are thanking me. Oh man, I'm taking notes. You understand what I'm saying? Not to mention to this day, and I told the other bitch ass detractor that we had. You understand? You know who I'm talking about if you're listening, because I know you be listening from your little fake page, by the way, sister. You understand? I know you be listening. Shout out to you. I don't have no animosity towards you, but I told her as well. You know, we keep it real on this show. We don't kiss nobody's ass. We hold everybody accountable. If you a dude and you out of pocket, you gonna get checked. If you a female and you out of pocket, you gonna get checked. There is no ass kissing or brown nosing here. We don't get down like that. You understand? And so, you know, to Claude specifically, if you feel a way, bring your ass up on the show. I guarantee you. You want to debate? You want to debate me? I guarantee you, I will mail you your ass.
You can only say
bring your ass on the show.
You can only say engagement baiting and all that bull crap to people that don't have facts to back up what they say.
Exactly.
We have facts to back up what we say, so it's not baiting. The problem is y'all don't have the information you can't debunk facts. So the emotional rants that y'all come with, it gets thrown out. You get knocked the fuck out coming with emotion. So that's why you will say something like that. Is throwing the rocks and hiding your hands because you cannot destroy what is factual. So when you can't beat it, you can't join it. You got to haul ass from it, and that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, the thing, real quick, Bobby, hold up. I gotta say this.
Go right ahead.
You know, with Claude in particular, Claude has this mindset where he's into like woman worship. You know, Claude is a typical Derek Jackson, Captain Save a Hoe ass dude. And I don't have a problem with Claude. Me and Claude go back to like maybe 7th or 8th grade. I don't have a beef with Claude. Let me make sure I'm clear with that. But when you have that type of mindset, you need to understand that you're not seeing things clearly. I don't look at what gender a person is before I criticize them. Now, when I'm on here criticizing Corey Holcomb, I gave Corey Holcomb the business. I got about 5 videos on Corey Holcomb. Nobody said shit. But in you did. But in this particular instance, I'm not even criticizing this young lady. I'm criticizing a certain type of women, and the type of women that I'm criticizing are the women that are abusive towards men with the way that they conduct themselves online and in the world. And I'm making the point because the sister in the video is asking the question, well, where are the men? Nigga, the men are not there because the women are out here behaving in this manner that is driving the men away. And that is a valid point to anybody who's thinking with a clear head. This dude got his head up his ass and, you know, you always attacking the women. He one of them niggas. And like, bro, I don't have a lot of patience for them niggas, seriously, if I'm being totally honest. I really don't, because that's not what it's about. Women can't grow if you just coddle them and kiss their ass. You know what I'm saying? I'm all for supporting sisters, loving sisters, all that shit. But when they're wrong, they need correction. Go ahead, Bobby, real quick. Then we get into the content. Man, go ahead.
I was going to say, I personally, I wasn't mixed up in this kerfuffle, but
yeah,
I've been involved in these kind of mix-ups for, at least about a good 2 decades strong now.
Yeah.
And one thing that I found in my expertise, my limited expertise, is that anytime they can't beat you with facts or the truth, they always go to the emotional minings.
That's it.
The reality of the situation is the truth will set you free. This matter if you're a man or woman alike, it's universal. The truth will set you free.
Mm-hmm.
But first it'll piss you the hell off.
Yeah. Facts.
That's just me. Piss you.
Go ahead, go ahead. Don't pay me no mind. I'm getting this.
Okay.
Yeah,
but first it'll piss you off. And the reality is, if you are not a mature person, if you do not have a growth mindset, If you're not the kind of person that strives to become better and you're actively looking to improve and get better, if you have that 1% better everyday mindset, then even if what you're hearing stings, even if it hurts, even if you don't like it, you will have the capacity to sit back and say, okay, you know what? Deep breath, let me self-regulate, let me check myself, let me find out this is bothering me, so something is there. Maybe they've uncovered a blind spot. Let me ask some questions for clarity. If I feel this is a safe space, let me say, you know what? I don't really agree with this, but can you break that down for me? You will ask questions so you can find out, first of all, why does this bother me so much? Yeah. And then if there's any validity to it, okay, what do I need to do to move forward? Now, what do I need to work on? That's what a mature person will do. But an immature person who's stuck in the place of a toddler will just have a whole tantrum and shit the bed. Mm-hmm. So if that's you, and if you encourage that, what you're saying is that you ain't ready for adulthood. And if you're enabling that, you the problem. I keep saying, if we could get rid of simps, we could probably organically restore the balance between men and women within a generation. Yeah. But as long as you got niggas holding the fire door open, come on, it's okay. We're never gonna get nowhere because they're not allowing the work to do what it's supposed to do.
Facts. And that's the thing, you know, with Claude. Claude is a simp. God bless him. I don't have no beef with Claude, but Claude is a simp. And, you know, when you out here kissing women's ass or whatever, bruh, there's no way for y'all. Men have things we need to work on, and we own that shit. And those of us that don't own it, ain't no shortage of men out here calling them out. You understand? Women have things they need to work on, and they got whole prayer circles and goddamn, you know, these whole secret societies of women that will coddle them. And, oh, poor baby, it's not that bad. You know, and you never, as a result, you never get to actually see yourself. And if only we're pulling the men to the table, hey, fellas, we need to tighten up. Too many women. There are some women out here calling these women out. Sister Mila Renee is in the chat. She's one of them. Okay. Mm-hmm. There are some sisters out here calling out the bullshit. I can't say that they're not out here, but they're not out here in the numbers that we need them out here in order to affect the landscape of what's going on right now. You know what I'm saying? We just don't have enough of them. Mm-hmm. And, you know, that's got to change. But we're working on it. You know what I'm saying? We're working on it. I'm going to touch on a few things today, man. I want to talk about that video. We'll talk about that later. I want to start off with this because the reason that I wanted to do this show today, what do men really like or dislike in women, is because what I'm seeing out here is women telling men what men like. Women telling men what they should like. Women telling men what they should not like and how to think and how to approach relationships. Am I lying? If I'm lying, stop me. Put me off the ledge.
I wish you were.
Okay. Because when I got beat down for the whole septic ring thing, when you looked on my page and your page, what you saw, men said is a red flag.
Men are saying that shit is whack. And this is the thing, ladies. We had a forum discussion with some wonderful sisters a couple weeks ago, right? Shout out to our good sister Tiffany Marie. We're going to get her on the show again soon and shout out to Bobby Drake for that connection and putting that hookup together for that show. What happened was there were a group of sisters, and this is what we want to see in y'all, right? There were a group of sisters that, you know, they have like their regular, you know, woman meetings, you know. Tiffany Marie, she does femininity training of sorts, and a whole group of women, they meet together all the time. And they were like, you know, it would be a good idea basically to bring some men into our conversation and ask the men some questions about dating, some questions about relationships. I know, Bobby, right? That's a crazy concept, right?
You mean not ask each other about what men think and how men operate, and then give each other the answers, give each other the game? They went to the source?
Those are intelligent women. You dig? Whoa. That is how we want to see y'all show up. You know, instead of asking other women what men think, you go ask the men, goddammit. You understand? Applause. So, you know, we had that discussion, and what we got from that is that there are sisters out here that really want to come to the table and have peace with brothers. We need each other. You know what I'm saying? And the same way, there are brothers that want to, you know, meet peaceful sisters, but I think that the peace has to be established first. That we're all coming to the table in good faith, and we want to really progress in the conversation, because nobody's coming to talk to you if every time they talk to you, they get attacked. Like the United States and Iran are at war right now. And people ask the Iranians, well, why didn't you negotiate? Like, oh, the last 3 times we came to negotiate with the U.S., they attacked us. You gonna negotiate? All right, then. We're going to get into this video real quick. And y'all, I'm going to see what y'all say on the other side of this video. Check this out. Again, women feel one way, men not so much.
Or a BBL. 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 BBL.
Hold on. For whatever reason, the video's not playing. Hold on, let me try this again. I hate it when it does that.
You prefer natural bodies or BBL bodies?
Natural. 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 Natural.
Okay, I'm gonna bring that back to the beginning since it stalled at first. Check this video out. This is a heavy video. It's simple and it's short, but check it out.
Do you think men prefer a natural body or a BBL? BBL. 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 Do you prefer natural bodies or BBL bodies?
Natural. 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 Natural.
Again, the women think that we prefer this. And the reality of it is we don't prefer this at all. We prefer the exact opposite. But what happens is they get in these conversations with themselves. You know what I'm saying? They get an echo chamber of people that don't know any more about men than they do. And they start to tell themselves, well, you know, this is what the men's like. Why? Because Quisha said it? You understand? Like, y'all have to really understand. Men like what men like, and you're not going to change that. You understand? And the young lady who was at the church complaining, okay, well, why are there no men here? You, not you per se, young lady, but women in general have convinced themselves that what men actually think and what men actually have to say don't matter. You understand? And that the reality of the situation is what their girlfriends done told them. And so it becomes irrelevant, you know, what men think. And when, I mean, you talk about how you don't need men, you're not going to do anything for men, you know, you don't need no man. Oh, my baby daddy ain't this, my baby, you know, you berate men constantly. Some of these women, it is their personality to berate men. They don't do anything else. Look at Shira 7. What does she do but berate men and tell women how to be whores? I'll wait. You understand? But hundreds of thousands, over 1 million women follow this woman. You understand? And again, you're wondering why the men are not showing up. And then you play a video like this where, you know, they're asking about, you know, something that refers to a woman's anatomy, which is the first thing to attract a man. And the women are like, oh, men clearly prefer this. And the men are like, no, we actually don't prefer that at all. I'm going to show you another video like that in a minute, but talk to me about that dynamic and what it looked like to you, because that's wild to me.
Yeah, I always told people that when it comes down to women, women compete with other women. They don't compete for men. They compete against other women. So much so that I tell brothers all the time, be very careful about the woman that approaches you or the woman that you approach, because a lot of them have hidden agendas outside of your agenda. One of the major key behind women is women are always looking for a guy with huge pockets, right? A guy who's they call generous, right?
Yeah.
Basically, It's just a pseudo synonym for a simp, right? So they're looking for this generous man, but they're not looking for a generous man to gain things for themselves. They're looking for a generous man to make them look better in the eyes of other women. put in case, like, these women will get that man's money and put themselves, fix themselves up in a way and go out there and project that towards other women, because guess what? You're not projecting that towards other men because you already got the man that you say you want. So who are you doing all of that for? It's to show these other women that say that you would never be nothing, that hated on you, all of this animosity of all these women that had for you. Now you're using this man's pockets to show, oh, I told you I was going to come up. Oh, look, I'm better than you. Sit your ass down and learn from me. So a lot of times when you have these women that come into these relationships with guys, a lot of them is in bad faith standards. Like, they're not coming in with wholesome intentions. So you got to be very careful. And another thing is, and I talked about that last time, was that there's a lot of women out here that are only with you based on your physical physique, just to get a child from you. Especially you guys that are very athletic. They want that child so they can put them in football or just be athletic to be their ultimate workhorse for them. This is why a lot of women are procreating with the same 20% of these no good dudes, but they're the main bucks. You know, like if you talk about it in slavery, these are the built bucks that they want to have children from, so they can just run off and go be this woman who now has her own personal slave, and she could go out there and manifest the life off the back of her child, but at the same time can not have a curated relationship with another man because she now puts this son in that king's corner. And I land my plane on that.
All facts and very well said. Very good points. Okay, all right. Bobby Drake, what you got, man? Real quick, talk to me.
All facts, no breaks there, Brother Malcolm. Another thing that you got to keep in mind also, there's a lot of self-deception that women culturally engage in as well, too. When you see videos or situations like that where you have a question being asked, you know, what do men like? Natural or BBL? Oh, guys, natural. Women, BBL, BBL.
Yeah.
You have to, and this is where it can get kind of tricky. So you really have to be able to quickly, male or female, discern who's in front of you, who you're observing.
Yeah.
You have a lot of women who will mind game themselves, and some of them are giving that answer BBL. And this is just a general thing. This isn't just about this specific conversation, but you could apply this to a lot of other situations. They will give that answer, in some cases, knowing full and damn well dudes do not actually like BBLs. They hear the smack talk. But what they're doing is they're trying to mind game themselves because they understand when they see what dudes are attracted to, they're not attracted to BBLs. They're attracted to women who are in good shape, who take care of themselves, and have the physiques that BBLs are hopelessly trying to recreate.
Right.
And you see these in these fitness influencer pages, whatever. You see these women who you can tell she got out the mud. It's pure muscle. She's hitting the squat rack. She's doing the deadlifts. She's putting in work. You see her eating. You see how she got that, and ain't no surgery. But they will still be there in the comment section talking about, that's the BBL, she got surgery. Why don't they tell people they got surgery? Knowing damn well it's not. Because in their minds, the only way I can get that is a BBL. Or, outside of justification, they will also say that because they don't want to give themselves or make themselves feel bad for not being disciplined enough to get in the gym, for controlling their eating and appetites. So they tell themselves that to get that physique, I would have to do something crazy like get a BBL, and I'm not going to do that. I'm all natural. So a man that likes all natural will like me. No. Men like all natural physiques that put in the work.
I can agree with that.
So they tell themselves BBL, they tell themselves whatever the artificial enhancement or whatever the case may be. So that way they can give themselves a break from not putting in work. It's not that I'm lazy or that I don't have discipline or that I don't want it bad enough. I just don't want to get surgery.
Right.
Well, you can go to the gym and get it. No. You can't get that in the gym. That can only be gotten through surgery. Okay. Yeah, that's right. So if a man likes natural, or they'll praise certain attributes that we know aren't a good look, but they're masking it as natural.
Right.
So if a man doesn't like this, it's not in optimal shape. But if a man doesn't like this, that means he likes fake bodies. So you have to have at all times a Rosetta Stone translator out with a lot of these women. You have to actually try to pick up on what is it they're actually saying. Because if you try to take it at face value, you're going to find yourself very confused. But you have to be mindful of the fact that when we're talking with people, men and women alike, when we're talking with other people, you have to always keep in mind that there's a very real possibility that even though we're using the same exact words, we're not having the same exact conversation. My dude Victor, shout out boy Victor Van Zandt. He was in that group session with us with the ladies the other day. He loves to every time people come on his page talking nonsense or coming completely sideways, he has a habit of always telling them, you and I aren't having the same conversation. I'm going to disengage because we're not having the same conversation.
Yes. That's real. I've seen that a number of times. And with this person, Neek, that we were not having the same conversation. You know, she feels attacked and convicted because we're talking about things that she basically does. You understand what I'm saying? Like she is one of those women that is the cause as to why the men were not coming to the church event. She's one of them, you know, and she felt convicted and she felt like, oh, they're attacking me. We weren't attacking her. We're trying to tell other women how to avoid that trap, because the fact that that woman even made that video says that there's a disconnect. It should be obvious to you why men are not coming to the church or wherever else. That's like the 4th or 5th singles event that I've seen women post online that they're upset that men didn't come to. It's just that this one was 1,000 people, so it stood out more. But that's not the first one. Men have checked out. A lot of us have checked out, you know, because women are just too much of a pain. I see women on my thread, on my Facebook, on my Instagram, or wherever I'm at, even my TikTok, and just listening to their videos, I'm annoyed. You're a nag. You're a nag on Facebook. You're a nag on Instagram. Can you imagine being with this woman in real life? Go ahead, Ed, real quick before I get into the next joint.
I just want to say, ladies, the reason why a lot of these guys are picking natural bodies over BBLs is because BBLs is a liability. A lot of y'all, like Bobby was saying, a lot of y'all don't have the discipline. So once you go get that surgery and you're not disciplined to keep it up, you're going to lose everything that you went and bought for. So if you buy a surgery for $10,000 and you're not doing the proper upkeep of doing the investment of going and working out and things like that, you will lose it. That I see a lot of women lose it in tummy tucks as well. When you get tummy tucks and all these other cosmetic surgery, you're losing it because you're having the same eating habits, but you're not working out. So that $5,000 of tummy tuck, and guess what? You have some women that have 2, 3, or 4 tummy tucks. So it's a liability to men, and we're not dealing with it.
It's pissing money. It's pissing in the wind. It's pissing in a gale storm.
Right. And just on another level, you know, I think that it needs to be said, a lot of men, as we're going to show some of the live comments, because I posted several posts, you know, to get a count, like poll type of posts to get a count and understand, okay, do you like this? Do you not like that? What is this? What is that? So there's no misconstruing what we're talking about. You understand? Men are clearly and unequivocally saying they don't like a lot of the shit that y'all doing, ladies. They're not buying what you're selling. Pause. I'm not trying to, because I know a lot of y'all, I know what you're selling. I ain't talking about that. This is a figurative comment that I'm making. I'm not talking about what you're literally selling to a lot of y'all. I'm talking about they're not accepting your program. You're putting stuff out there that's just not resonating with the audience, man. And you can't tell the market what it wants. The men, you know what I'm saying? Let me play this other video. Again, it's plain as day, but they're not catching it, man. Like, what do men like? First, before I get into that, I want to talk about peaceful women, because I put up a post and I was basically asking, okay, what do men like in women, or what do men find attractive in women? I specifically said find attractive and not like, because I wanted them to give me more physical attributes. Do you know I had to go back again and again to get some physical attributes? Ladies, be perceptive. They didn't start talking about, oh, I like breasts and ass and this and that. That was not the default. To my surprise, they started talking about, I like peace. I like accountability. You know, I like someone who will apologize. I like respect. I mean, all of these people qualities is what the men were basically saying. I want to talk about peace real quick because you ask men, okay, what do you want? And they say they want peace, and people think it's a game, but I think women are starting to kind of get it. It's not a game. Men want peace, and if they don't feel they're going to get peace, they're going to ignore your silly ass. You understand? So here you go. Studies indicate that men are highly attracted to peaceful women, often defined as those who are nurturing, responsive, and kind, as these traits foster deep emotional bonds and feelings of being understood. Research shows responsive, gentle behavior is perceived as feminine and increases sexual arousal and long-term commitment desire in men. Y'all say y'all want to be wives. You had Tamar Braxton, of all people, on the show the other day talk about how she's a wife. Read that last sentence again with me. Gentle behavior is perceived as feminine and increases sexual arousal and long-term commitment desire in men. You wonder why your ass is, 50-something, and you can't keep a man? Because you're not peaceful. And that goes for a lot of the rest of you, too. Responsiveness. Men are more attracted to women who are responsive, meaning they're good listeners, understand their partner's feelings, and provide validation. Emotional safety. Peacefulness is linked to a nurturing environment, which helps men feel safe, appreciated, and supported. Physical and emotional connection. Studies suggest when men perceive a woman as responsive, it can lead to higher sexual arousal and a greater desire for a long-term relationship. Reduced conflict. Come on. Reduced conflict. A peaceful demeanor that implies fewer high conflict interactions, which is a desirable trait in long-term partners. Walk with me now. Softness. Some perspectives suggest that a gentle or soft approach described as, in contrast to, chaotic energy is deeply appealing to men. What part do y'all not get? This is what men want. Because you ask any woman out here nowadays, okay, well, you know, what do you bring to the table? They start talking about their degrees in their career. Like we give a shit. And then when you say, that's not really what I'm interested in, oh, you want to demean my accomplishments. No. You trying to attract a basset hound with bean sprouts, and basset hounds don't eat bean sprouts. Damn it. All right, let's get into the video. All right, where we at? Hold on. Let me find a video I'm talking about.
Why are you hunting for the video? Oh, okay, never mind.
Okay, check, right. We're going to get to it after the video. You let me know what's up. But check this video. Another one, very much like the first, but check this out. This is another argument. Men have been saying this for the last 50 years. Check it out.
Guys prefer? Do you prefer women with weaves or natural hair?
Natural hair.
Do you prefer women with natural hair or weave?
I don't like weaves.
Do you guys prefer women with weaves or natural hair?
Natural hair. Natural.
Do you prefer natural hair or weaves?
Natural hair.
What do you prefer, natural hair or weaves?
Natural hair.
Do you prefer women with natural hair or weaves?
I do prefer with natural hair.
With natural hair. Do you prefer weaves or natural hair on women?
Natural hair could be better.
Natural hair looks pretty.
Excuse me, you guys.
Yo.
Do you guys prefer black women to wear their hair natural or with their fake hair?
Natural.
Natural all day.
Do you prefer girls wear their natural hair or weave?
Natural.
Aries.
Rich.
Richie Rich. And Jaden.
Jalen.
Do y'all prefer girls wear their natural hair or weave?
Natural hair.
Why you like the natural?
Because I feel like with the weave, they just be doing too much. Like you can see, like when they got the wigs on, like that's not cute.
But I prefer natural though. I like everything natural. Like I don't even like the makeup.
See box braids and stuff like that. That's fine.
Box braids.
Yeah, box braids.
Yeah. That's classic.
Denzel, do you prefer that girls wear their natural hair or weave?
I like natural hair. I love it. It's what I prefer.
All right, Ria. Do you prefer that girls wear their natural hair or weave?
Natural.
So Charles, do you prefer girls wear their natural hair or weave?
I prefer the natural hair.
All right. So again, you know what I'm saying? We got I specifically went out of my way to get different age groups. You got some people that are in another country. You understand? And it's a very simple question, but the fact that they're asking the question already tells you that it's a topic of conversation. It's a point of contention. Very simple. You prefer natural hair or weave? And I put on my question on Facebook, I put prefer / like, because some men prefer it. Some men don't like it at all. So I want to make sure I'm addressing both scenarios. And I cannot remember. I think in life, I might have heard 3 men say that they actually like or prefer weave and wigs. I added wigs to mine because, and what the brother said in there, I made sure I kept that in because it's key. Box braids, twists. And when we say weave, we're not talking about that. When men say that weave is a turnoff, most men are not talking about that. So I'm glad that brother added that caveat. You got some box braids. That's a black woman hairstyle. That's a black woman classic hairstyle. Nobody is hating on you for wearing a weave with your classic braids. You know what I'm saying? Or with your twist or whatever the case may be. But these long Nicki Minaj, Cardi B weave, the 26-inch joint, the 26-inch joints down your back and whatever, and you just the Polynesian hair and all this old stuff. I think that that's what they're saying. That's what the men are talking about. That they just don't like that. We've never liked that. You understand? But you can't get women to stop doing it. And it boggles the mind. It's like if you just on a very basic level, because she's asking why the men didn't come to the church. And it's like, bruh, if you've been saying for 40 years that you don't like some shit, and people just keep doing it. And, they talk about every day how they'll never do nothing for a man. There's a whole movement now to decenter men, right? Okay? They got a whole movement. You go and type in decenter men on TikTok or Instagram, and you'll get a whole bunch of chicken heads that come up talking about how they're decentering men. This is what they do. This is what they're doing. It's necessary to have a successful life and really get to the bag because money is all that's important to a lot of these women. You understand? It creates the feeling in men of, why bother? You know what I'm saying? These women are so into themselves that they might as well do like Tiffany Haddish and marry their damn self. You dig? And so a lot of guys are checking out because of that. Again, we've been saying this for the last 40 years. Easy. We don't like the white woman weave. We like a black woman to look like a black woman. All right? But, when we say it out loud, oh, you hate the women's and you this and you that, you bashing women. The women and the female the female adjacent men like Claude want to talk about how you hating. Talk to me. Talk me off the ledge.
A lot of the women that it's kind of, oh gosh, I don't know where to start with this one.
Alan said Alan said it almost seems like an attempt to appear more white. I wasn't gonna say it.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna say it.
Yeah, that I could go all the way left on that comment there because there's a lot of things that they line up with.
Give him something. I know you could go all day, but give him something. Just talk to me.
Yeah, okay. So when you have, with the alignment on that, so you have black women, because that's what I'm centered around. You'll have black women that'll sit back and they'll talk about how, they hate the fact that men will, what they call weaponize or what they say, weaponize or kind of exploit black women, right?
Yeah.
And now you're starting to see a lot of black women, they're getting that money from white society and they're exploiting themselves to us. So you have a problem with being exploited, but you don't have a problem self-exploiting yourself for money. So I'm like, is the problem about being exploited, or is the problem that you just want the money for yourself?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's so many angles where it comes in where you sorry. So many angles where it comes in the hypocrisy. It's a lot of hypocrisy that goes on. They say one thing and they do the opposite. So a lot of times when you see a lot of these women over the years, they have been subconsciously not realizing that they've been distancing themselves from men for a good minute now. Because when you come into the churches, the congregation now has women doing a bunch of women stuff. When you start going with the friendship now, it used to be back in the days in these spaces, used to have elders that told you, hey, you're off a line. You need to align yourself with men. Now you having a bunch of olders and these young girls, and all they want to do is like, hey, we want to do this without men. We want a society without men. And now you're starting to see the repercussions behind that. So even when you look at the sororities, you're seeing a lot of enrollment in sororities, and they're doing all these activities with themselves. And then you got girl trips, the galantines, all these other stuff that they're programming themselves to really distance themselves more and more from men. That's why we have such a large disconnect now, because you are conditioning yourself that you don't want to be around men. It's kind of the same conditioning that a lot of people have been doing since COVID, where you're distancing yourself from people. And now you're seeing the consequences behind it. We're not integrated with each other like we were before COVID. So in longevity, it's going to have a big effect on it if you don't want to turn around and correct it right now. And I land my plane.
All facts. All facts. Very well said. Bobby Drake, what you got, man? What you got on this?
Man, just to touch back on what you were saying before, and also that, you know, the funny thing is, every time we have conversations about what men like or what men are attractive, especially when we talk about the physical attributes, the first thing you almost always hear from women, if you got a room full of women, 10 of them speak, you're going to hear this brought up by at least maybe a good 50% of them. The first thing they will always go to and tell you is that y'all worry too much about the looks. Looks fade. Looks on forever. You need to be worried about what's going on the inside. But that's a problem when you talk about those same things that you point out in the beginning, and so many of these women don't even have that to begin with.
Yeah.
So the reality of the situation is, and this is why I keep saying, women have to be very careful about what it is they ask for. Women don't understand. The day men actually start to really listen, it's happening now. But the day men finally decide as a whole, as a unit, to really actually listen to what women say and go ahead and give them what they want, it's gonna be emotional bloodshed in the streets. Because a lot of these women are getting chose because they have those external attributes. Y'all ain't got the internal. Y'all ain't got kindness. Y'all don't have good character.
Yeah.
Y'all aren't pleasant. You aren't thoughtful. You're very self-centered. Everything's got to be about you. The only reason a lot of women are getting chose is because of the looks. So if dudes were to really say, you know what? Looks really don't matter. That's a fat ass. That ain't it. Big chest, over that. Pretty lips, nah, not really. I'm about those internal attributes. A lot of women would be getting divorced, broken up with, and just straight up ignored. More so than what we're seeing right now. So be careful about rallying over here talking about, oh, you need to do this when you don't have the backup plan on deck. Those requests, y'all worry too much about the external attributes. That works fine for women that are solid on the inside. You got it like that.
Yeah.
If you're dead broke, stop trying to run up the bill that you can't pay.
Fair enough. Okay. You done? Okay, Bobby Drake is. I thought you were still going. Okay. But so let's get into this comment. I love comments when they come in. So shout out to you, Lanice, for your comment. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get into it. I'm single, but I enjoy time with my friends like Galentine's, etc. However, I would rather spend that time with a man if I had one. All right, Lanice. I didn't really hear a question in there, but I mean, there's nothing wrong with that with what you're saying. Did you have more that you was gonna type in, or you just want to make that statement?
I guess she said Galentine's because I kind of threw that in there about how a lot of times women are involved in Galentine's Day. Okay, Lanice
says, is that a bad thing? That's her question.
Yeah. I had a feeling that's what the question was, but I didn't want to go ahead and put words in it.
Okay, real quick, Lanice, are you comfortable coming on stage? You don't have to have your camera on, but can you come on stage and have a little conversation? Because I want to know in details what you're doing nails. Okay, yeah. All right. Because I was gonna say because you come up on, you just asked the question, because Galentine's, what's the conversation like that you are she said she will come up. Okay, you can bring her up.
Yeah, I'll bring her up. Go ahead. And
send a link, because I want to know. My question would be, what is it that you guys are doing in Galentine's? That's the thing, because I see a lot of Galentine's girls that is anti-men Galentine and more low-key lesbian Galentine, versus back in the days when you had these gatherings that weren't called Galentines. It was women, younger women around women older than them, but they were giving them the game on how to maintain your household, how to be more feminine, how to recognize when your man or somebody, your children in the household might have a problem without them saying something. It was things to make you better within your household whenever you get there. But now you got, it's like all these Galentines are pushing you further away from men. So that's why I'm saying it's a difference. If your Galentines are about educating each other and empowering each other to get better men, holding each other accountable, having these accountability questions and holding each other like that, that's good. But if you're having anti-black men or anti-men Galentines, then you're only doing yourself disservice.
Right. I put the link in the chat, Lanice. So go ahead and come through and we'll see what it do. You know what I'm saying? I really want to hear that come from you. I want to hear it straight from you. So, and a lot of times, you get different inflection, you get more value from a person when you hear them talking. And when you do a face-to-face, so we're waiting for you to call in. I'm looking, I don't see you yet. It's in the chat. I just put it in the chat, Lanice. It's right there. You see where it says StreamYard? I'm gonna do it again, okay? I'm gonna do it again.
I don't see
the link.
I put the link right there.
There we go.
See it?
It just came through.
It might have been delayed.
Yeah, it probably was delayed.
I put the link in, so go ahead, Lanice, click in, and we'll get on that. And like Anthony said, I don't think on its face there's necessarily anything wrong with Galentine's Day. However, it can get a little crazy because, like Ant said, a lot of these females, she said there's no lesbian activity, so that's encouraging. Okay, that's good. But what else happens? No bumping clits, that's great. What else happens in a lot of these Galentine's Days is, like Ant said, a lot of women get together and they just bash men and talk smack about men, and like that is something that will be to your detriment for sure. So I guess is the type of Galentine's Day celebration. Okay, looks like we got her in the studio. Let's see what it is.
She's up?
Yeah, she's up. Hold on. Well, she was up, I thought. There you go. You not gonna put on your camera, Tamara?
No, I told her she don't have to. I told her she don't have to.
Yeah, that's fine. Hey, sister, what's going on?
Unless you don't flex the nails on.
If you want to, like, it's not. You can tell her she can if she wants to too. Do you want to put your camera on?
No, I look a mess. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
I don't believe you. I think you look great, but that's okay. What's going on, sister?
We know that's Cap, but we appreciate you.
We know that's Cap. What's going on, sister? Talk to us.
So
and
my
thanks for coming on.
Oh no, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to come up. But my question more so was, I'm single, so when I do have those times with my friends, We're not doing all the wild things or anything like that.
Okay.
I don't participate in whole behavior.
That's what's up.
So I attended two of them. One of them is a good friend of mine, and she, we kind of like on the same wavelength. The other group that I was involved in, it was a little bit different, but there was not really any ratchet stuff going on.
Okay.
So what we do is we play games, exchange gifts, and just have girl talk, and that's it.
That's
At
dope.
least that's the part that the two that I've been a part of. I can't
Okay.
speak for anything else.
Well,
Dope.
what was the girl talk like? Can you give us some insight on those questions?
One of them was like a truth or dare, and one of them was like, would you date this type of man? If your man cheated on you, would you leave? Now, that Galentine's, it was maybe three women that was married, and her husband was actually upstairs.
Okay.
The other one, we just pretty much played games and talked and did girl stuff. The one that I went to, I was just telling you about with my girlfriend, with my friend, let me be clear, in 2026, with my
Yeah.
friend,
No
we get
doubt.
together all the time and do manicures and pedicures.
Okay.
So I do understand that there are women that do those type of things, but I personally don't surround myself with those type of women. I am part of the group that you guys came and spoke to with Tiffany.
Oh, that's what's
Oh,
So
up.
okay.
I
Welcome,
am one of
welcome. You
those type
guys
of
were
women.
exceptional, by the way. We were just talking about y'all earlier.
Oh, thank you. We'd love to have you back.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
gonna have to run that back again for sure.
We gonna have y'all on, and then we gonna go back. We gonna work, man. I really, really like the interaction. We all really like the interaction we had with y'all. Go ahead.
But that was just my reasoning for my question.
Okay.
It wasn't to be argumentative or anything like that.
No, that's
Oh, no,
fine.
no, we got that.
No.
I want to ask you this real quick because you said you're in the process of trying to find your person. So when you were in these Galentine situations and atmosphere with these married women, what game did they give you? Like what real powerful knowledge that they gave you that really you could put to use when you do have your man and your person?
Great question.
Well, for me, it didn't relate to me. I've been married before. And
Oh,
so
okay.
I've learned from my mistakes. Not
Okay.
only have I learned from my mistakes, I've gone through different courses like Tiffany's Boundaries course. I've gone to therapy. So I can recognize what I should and should not do. And like I said before, I don't surround myself with women who are cheaters and do things like that. So for me, there wasn't nothing that they could say. That's all I could give you.
No, that's
Okay.
what's up.
One more quick thing.
Go ahead.
Give me your ideal man right now, physically your ideal man.
I'm not into physical type of things because for one, I'm only 5 foot tall, so the whole 6 foot thing don't apply to me.
Yeah,
Um,
okay. That was
I
my
am
question.
more so. I am more so. I want someone who is kind, who has integrity, who is forward thinking, someone who I can grow old with. Because for me, all those other things kind of cancel out, like the 6 foot tall and the goatee and the whole body and things like that. That's irrelevant to me.
Yes. You listen, sister cooking. Okay. See, you get it.
Big respect.
And I want to give you one more round of applause because the first thing you said when I brought you up was you don't participate in whole activity. And I think that if more women had that type of mindset, not only would they do better in dating, but it would update the quality of how men are moving out here. Let me explain what I mean real quick. You got all these women out here that embrace whole culture. If you embrace whole culture, then when the men show up at the spot, they just looking for some ass because so many women embrace whole culture. I'm not saying that they're right for that, but I'm saying that it's creating the environment where it's less likely that you'll find someone quality. And men in turn, they're allowing their lower selves to take over, and they're becoming these lustful beings, unfortunately. And so we have this conundrum, whereas okay, back in the days, wasn't nothing happening if you wasn't putting a ring on it. You dig? And like now we've kind of gotten away from that, and the brothers need to, step up to the table and get back to putting a ring on it. And at the same time, the sisters need to stop embracing that type of culture, so that the brothers don't have that out. Because right now, if you're a playboy, it's Playboy's Wonderland in the dating world right now. You know what I'm saying? And that's not good for our relationships, our dating. That's not good for our community. People don't realize that our dating and our relationships and our love for each other is how we build community. You understand? And so I think that, that's very important what you said just out the gate. I don't engage in none of that. You know what I'm saying? But also, I hope you also understand some of the skepticism why when you ask that question, he was like, okay, well, what goes on at Galentine's Day in your particular type of Galentine's Day? Because some of these Galentine's Day, they turn into, low-key freak-offs. The girls, they start playing booty music and they get up and start having twerking contests, and they get drunk and, start doing unscrupulous things. So not that, but what you're describing sounds great. You know what I'm saying? It really does. Even I encourage my wife, because some guys be, don't be going out the house and they want to be like, they want to be on your hip. I encourage my wife, hey, baby, go hang out with your girls, whatever, because I know that when she hangs out with her girls, there ain't gonna be no bullshit, and you sound like you have that mentality, so you good. That sounds like a very healthy thing that you're doing on Galentine's Day, and I'll park the Chevy. Did we answer your question? Oh, Bobby.
No, I want to answer.
Samara, you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
No, did we answer your question, or did I answer your question?
Yes, you did. Thank you.
Okay.
Bobby Drake, real quick, and then we gotta.
I just want to say that on its face, there is nothing wrong with a Galentine celebration, but it is important to be mindful. Anything, and it's lighthearted for the most part, but it's always important to be mindful of the origins of things, right? Because you need to understand, what it is that you're getting into, what is it that you're signing up for, that you're subscribing to. Because while a lot of things can be innocent, we have to understand that we're living in a very, very corrupt and twisted world. So a lot of things that may on their face seem innocent could also have some ulterior things that will set us back if we're not mindful of it. So while Galentine's might not be an evil holiday or notion, whatever, you have to understand there's two things that's driving Galentine's, or that spawn Galentine's. Number one, Galentine's was a concept that was put together from women who were, for the most part, single, didn't have anybody, weren't attached, felt some kind of way about it. But however, they did not want to actually be in a relationship, or they were not able to find somebody compatible with them or do the work necessary to find that person to be with, where they can have someone to celebrate the holiday with. So as a crutch, they decided, well, since I don't have a man, we're going to have Galentine's, so now we can celebrate each other. I don't have to feel by myself. I can still do all the things that I would associate with a man, but with somebody else. So it was a coping mechanism. I feel lonely. I feel bad about being single. Being single sucks. I'm not going to do whatever it is that I can in my power to go ahead and have my person. So I'm just going to basically have a coping mechanism. That was one half of it. The other half was your corporations who noticed that, hey, we having a real severe drop and decline in couples. We ain't got a whole bunch of people going to Jared's. We ain't got a whole bunch of people, co-signing that every kiss begins with K. They're not buying jewelry. They're not giving proposals. They're not going on dates, whatever. So now, to help keep our revenue, because we're seeing a dip in our profits that we expect during this time, we're going to go ahead and rally behind this Galentine stuff so we can still give women a reason to purchase and buy, so we don't miss out on our bottom dollar anymore. So you have coping mechanisms, and I don't want to say capitalism, but you have greed or corporate greed coming together to try and make sure that one hand wash the other, both wash the face. So if you as a woman or as women are coming together with your girlfriends and it's not in the spirit of bitterness. You're healthy women who have done the work or are doing the work, or you're coming together to help coach each other up, empower each other, and increase the likelihood that you all will be able to go forth and get positive relationships. That's cool. But if you're going just so you can bash dudes or you can be miserable together, which is a terrible idea, or so you can just go and get your lipstick lesbian activity on, then that's not good. So now you have idleness coming together in the same room. And as we know, idle hands are the devil's workshop. So again, if you're coming in the spirit of doing functional, positive things with one another, it's, like a ladies' slumber party or whatever, that's awesome. I can't see any reason why you have a problem with that. But so long as the understanding is this is not to take the place of a man.
Right.
This is not a substitute for a functional, happy, healthy relationship. Yeah, I love hanging with y'all, but if I had it my way, me and Bae would be, we got date night, he got the flowers, he got the reservations. When we get home, it's going to be some Valentine's Day. We might actually have a Scorpio baby.
Well said, Bobby Drake. So that's our synopsis, sister. I hope that was helpful.
It was. Thank you, guys.
Okay, God bless. I really appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
I just want to say, man, I really, really believe wholeheartedly that she's gonna find her dude soon, because the reason why I asked her what her physical, because I wanted to see if she was fixated on 6-foot guy. But once she debunked that, I already knew that her options is really to find her person. And it's not many women that go against the whole physical thing to look for their person. So she is definitely on the track to finding her person. And find
Let me toss something behind that. Let me toss something behind that real quick too. And to be perfectly honest, and I don't know if that's where your mind is, Ant, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with anybody having a physical type. There's nothing wrong with that. You have a man that you like, or there's nothing wrong with liking men that are 6 feet tall or 6'5", whatever. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with liking dudes that look like Idris Elba that got muscles or whatever the case may be. There's nothing wrong with that. The problem kicks in when the physical attributes become deal breakers, where if they don't have this, it's a no-go. Or this comes before everything else. I like the fact that not so much that she said that she didn't really have a physical issue. I wouldn't have a problem with that. But I love how much depth she had and how much detail and how many different layers she had as far as what she liked, as far as internal attributes. I talked about this before, how I had a conversation with a sister on a thread where everyone was talking about what it is that they were looking for in a significant other. And she listed several things that she liked. All of them were physical. When I called her out on that and I said, it's the only thing you mentioned were physical. She was like, well, no, that's not true. I like other things. So I said, yeah, but when I asked you didn't mention those other things. The first thing, not just the first thing, but the only thing you listed was physical attributes. So if I were to ask you, how many men have you been with that checked out these physical boxes, she probably would have had a number of different exes or dudes that she was talking to that met those boxes. If I were to ask her how many of those men had those internal attributes, pretty sure she would have said slim to none, and that's why she's not with him to begin with. The fact that she was mindful enough to have those positive internal attributes that are gonna go the distance, way beyond any physical package.
Right.
That's the stick with itness. That's what's gonna take you across the finish line and then some.
And just more broadly, just to broaden the conversation, whenever you hear women list their qualifications, and what they're looking for in men, they hardly ever mention any people qualities. They hardly ever, they talk about money and height basically, and that's it. And it's in, just so that we're clear, when they talk about providing, that's also money. You know what I'm saying? Not all necessarily money, but that's also money. And like when guys hear that, like Bobby was saying earlier, you're looking for a generous man. Instantly, I have friends, my good friend T, we're gonna have him on the show one day. His brother's money's astronomical. You know what I'm saying? He's making, I don't even want to put his business out there. I'm not gonna put his whole name out there, but this dude's making over $300,000 a year. Black man. You understand what I'm saying? And he's caking. And, you know, he talks about all the time how, you know, when he was doing what he's doing, he's a shorter guy, kind of chubby, you know, whatever the case may be. Not a bad looking dude, but he's not the Idris Elba type. You know what I'm saying? But like women, no black women wanted to talk to him. They thought he was corny. They thought he was a nerd, you know, whatever the case may be. He's raising great kids, extremely intelligent. He's an engineer like myself, but he's an engineer's engineer. I told y'all how I don't call myself an engineer because I don't feel like I don't have that level. He's one of them eggheads, you dig? This dude is making all kind of money. Black women see him now. He sell out because they see him with his white wife. You understand what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, he was checking for sisters. The sisters didn't want him. And it's because these very shallow, I'm not knocking sisters for liking tall men. That's okay. But when you're so fixated on it and it becomes like literally the only thing, some women like tall guys with tattoos. And that's like their thing. I remember I'm 5'11". You know what I'm saying? Some people call me every now and again. I might measure 6 feet on a good day when I go to the doctor. You know what I'm saying? But I've had women talk to me, be there with me in person, looking up at me, ask me, how tall are you? I'm like, yeah, I'm 5'11". Oh, you too short for me. You can see the girl likes me. You can see if you're asking me that question and you up in my grill, you like me. You know what I'm saying? But and I don't chase them. Okay, bye. Because at the end of the day, you don't want her to choose you because of that, you know, and we got to get away from that, you know, just generally. Men too, you know, we choose kind of superficially too. What did Aaron say? Aaron Asayero from Pop the Balloon when he came on here. When you're choosing a woman, you have to choose her like a blind man. We're going to have him back on. I talked to him the other day. Anyway, sister, we appreciate you. God bless. You're going to find that person. We might help you do it. You know what I'm saying? Because we gonna have our homie. Go ahead.
No, I was agreeing with you. I said, amen. Thank you.
That's what's up. We see you and you keep pushing. Let me ask you one quick question. I swear I'm gonna let you go. I need this from you though, because we had somebody, is a guy, and the brother we were talking about earlier, Claude, and he seems to think that some of our content is offensive. You know, and we just kind of tell the truth about things that we see happening. In the conversation that we had with you, we did some criticism of some of the things, some of the behaviors that women have out here these days. And, you know, you guys were very receptive to it. I think you kind of found it helpful. You know, we even criticized some of the stuff that guys were doing as well. I think we're pretty balanced. Do you find any of the stuff that we do in that capacity offensive?
I don't find it offensive at all. I think the problem may be is that people don't want correction. And because they don't want correction, it comes off as something else when they have to look inside of themselves. And I think a lot of times the biggest problem is people don't know how to self-reflect and be honest with themselves. And so they take it as being mean or rude when it's really not. And especially women, I think you mentioned it earlier, some women sit there and they say, no, this is what a man want. Well, you're not a man, so you can't tell a man what a man want. Just sit back, listen, and take in what he's saying, and then make adjustments along the way. But no, I do not find what you guys say offensive at all.
I thank you so much for that, and I appreciate it. That's actually a very good segue into our next segment. We appreciate you, sister, and we pray over you. You're going to find the homie. We might just send him to you on this show. So stand by, keep tuning in, all right?
Okay, thank you.
God bless. Appreciate you. So listen.
That's what I was going to say real quick. No, I was saying, Bobby, when it comes to what she was saying, a lot of women are fixated with the physical. So when they're fixated with the physical, what they do is they try to get the fixation of that physical man and try to make him into the character man that they want instead of finding the character man. And maybe you can fix him into what your ideal of a physical being. Like the little short guy, right? That is a Major's friend. Yeah, there's a lot of women that come into a lot of guys' lives that are overweight. And because she has such great character, she ends up making them lose that weight. I've known guys who are oversized, big, obese dudes, and you look at them and you was like, damn, motherfucker look like Dwayne Johnson right now. Because the power of femininity can also mold the guy into exactly what you want. You already got the foundation of the character. It's easy to mold the physical.
When a man sees, because the world that we live in is very, very cutthroat towards us. When a man knows that he has a partner at home that genuinely cares about him, cares for him, has his best interest at heart, man, look, he might be the king, but she is undoubtedly the power behind the throne. I don't know how many women I've met, older women, young women, who are married and who have said that they basically dress their husbands.
Yeah.
They basically said, my husband, when I met him, he had no sense of style whatsoever, whatever. I buy his clothes, I just get his measurements, whatever. Dude doesn't even know what the inside of a clothing store looks like. His whole wardrobe by his wife. He literally dresses and wears the clothes that she likes, and she has him looking fly or suited, or at least the way that she finds to be attractive and sexy. It's a lot easier to do that than it is to go ahead and get Thugnificent, get Walmartavius.
Come
on,
on
try
now.
to make him into a decent, upright, stand-up man with character and integrity. It's a lot easier the other way around.
Gucci, prime example, Gucci and his wife.
Gucci, hold up. So check it. Look,
that man came out of prison, everyone thought it was a clone. Dude, their whole 180.
It was
he came out of prison. He gave her $1 million. Came out of prison and had $6 million. Come on now.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, you got to respect it. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I want to take a look at this real quick, and I want y'all to give me your feedback on this on the other side. This was very interesting, and I really, really have a lot of respect. Shout out to the Godfather, the great Kevin Samuels. I couldn't have this show without giving him some props, because that brother, he really did a lot for the game. So shout out to the Godfather. Let's go ahead and check this out real quick.
Who have social media? I don't, unless it's for business. And I love when women are like, oh, that seems so controlling and this and that. I don't give a shit what it seems like. There have been women who I've been interested in who have had social media. Nope. Not going to even get into it. I've had women who haven't had social media but got a lot of male friends. I won't take that either. It's a choice. And there are plenty of women that are like, well, damn, that seems kind of controlling. No, not really. Just a preference.
Listen, shout out to the Godfather, the late, great Kevin Samuels. My thing that I love so much about Kevin Samuels is how unapologetic he was. And I shout him out because, you know, a lot of men, when we're dating, we tend to get conciliatory. Right? We tend to get very conciliatory because we don't want to lose access to the ass. You know what I'm saying? And this goes back to dick discipline and all these other things that we talk about on this show. You know, you have one of your greatest superpowers. We talk about superpowers, and we just talk about the sister there and femininity being a superpower. To quote the great Will.i.am, femininity is a superpower. The problem is he was talking about himself, but that's a whole other show. You understand? That's a whole other show. His bitch ass, but that's a whole other show. You know what I'm saying? Right now, we're talking about being masculine and not ceding your integrity to someone because you want sexual access. You understand? It's too many of y'all out there doing that. I promise you. If you can get that under control, women will behave totally differently in your midst. My grandmother used to tell me this when I was a kid, man. She said, a man who is a slave to his appetites belongs to the enemy. That lady is one of the deepest people to ever walk the face of the earth. She told me this shit when I was like 4. You understand? When I was like 4,
oh,
she told me this shit. That's some gangster shit. That's some gangster shit. A man who is a slave to his appetites belongs to the enemy. You cannot trust an infidel.
Sure
you understand? And when you are a slave to any of your appetites, but particularly your sexual appetites as a man, you ain't no man and you ain't really much of no good to nobody. You understand what I'm saying? It's not gonna end well for you.
Hello?
You dig? So, you know.
Shannon Sharp? Hey, let me put your speakerphone real quick.
Shannon Sharp, Cam Newton, Nick Cannon, Tristan Thompson. I mean, these dudes.
Sharon Moore?
Come on, man.
Hold on. Let me put you on conference call. Hold on.
Just running around like damn plantation bucks, just letting your seed off in anything. What are we doing? You know what I'm saying? They don't think, you know, everything is reactive. And, you know, this goes back to some of these, you know, we from Miami. What they say in Miami? Pussy ain't got no face. Sisters, when you hear a dude who talks like that, run fast and run far. You know what I'm saying? But that, again, that's another show. We talk about tonight what men like, you know, so that we can help the sisters. And Pete, when I put those posts up, you see how many sisters got in there and they was in the comments taking notes? I'm going to show y'all right now because people don't hear me.
And some of those sisters solid too. Some of them not with the raw either. So it's not like it's a bunch of hood rats. No. There was a couple solid sisters up in there.
There was some very solid sisters up in there. And I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Hold on.
Oh.
Let me see. Where is it? Go ahead, man. What's up?
No, I was saying, I was Googling, because I remember somebody said it, but it was David Banner who says, I don't do business with men who cheat on their wives.
Absolutely.
That was
real talk. So can y'all see my page?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Where is it?
You can't see my page? It says it is sharing.
It's probably a delay.
Yeah.
Bobby, can you see my page?
Nope.
Well, you probably got to do another.
My page is not showing on the screen. Hold on, let me try that again. Present. Stop screen. I'm gonna just stop it because apparently it's sharing to my screen and not to StreamYard where it's supposed to share, which is real goofy. But we're not gonna talk about that. I'll figure out a workaround for that. But what do you think about our good brother Kevin Samuels and him talking about how he doesn't date women who have social media unless it's business? Unless basically Kevin is saying that if you have social media, unless it's for business, he doesn't see the point in dating you like that. Like, I totally get where he's coming from. I would say, I don't know if he meant he doesn't have social media at all or that she's just not on social media like that. How do y'all feel about that? Because I kind of have a similar stance. You know what I'm saying?
I'm a little bit more lenient.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I am too.
Because like my people's got friends and family and all that stuff on there. So, you know, that's their way of chatting with people that is across the world that they're not, you know, close to. So that's a whole different, I mean, everybody's gonna have their own situation based on who they are aligned with, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I guess for the most part, he's talking about just being a woman that's just online and you're just all over the place with it when you could be doing something productive. Because remember, a lot of men that are productive want women that are productive too. Doesn't mean that you have to be productive in the workforce, but you have to be some kind of productive in some form of fashion. Even if you are his helpmate and help him organize, like do content or sketch out the content or things like that. If you're doing that for him, he doesn't mind that. But just to be lollygagging and interacting in space and interacting with dudes and being vulnerable in certain moments and then being a chatty patty to another man and opening up a gateway, maybe that is something he had dealt with in his past and that's his deal breaker, his boundary. So everybody has their own alignment with who their partner is aligned with. You know, some people have a tighter rope than other people, but I won't blame somebody with a tight rope versus somebody with a loose rope. You know what I'm saying? You know what rope you need to gauge with your mate. Just like men have that with women, women have that with their mate as well. They know a certain rope. Hey, you know, she'll be like, babe, you can go out there and hang with your friends. And then you got some women that be like, hey, shit, take me with you, you know, if you're going to go out there. So everybody has their own level of how they deal with their people. So I personally would never have that kind of boundary with a woman, but I understand where Kevin Samuels is coming from. I love the fact that Kevin Samuels, everybody talks about how Kevin Samuels get on women, but my most memorable piece of Kevin Samuels, I know y'all already know, I played that shit when that fat dude came on and he was like, women should choose me. I thought that was the most epic
that was gangster.
Online viral experience ever, because a lot of us guys think that just because you're a guy, you automatically should be chosen, and that's not. You got to put in that work. You a fat dude, you making $9,800 a year, which is below, like Kevin said, that's below minimum wage. When I was working back in the 1980s, I was making more than that. Then you over here 270 pounds, and people got mad because the man asked him about his penis size. I understood why Kevin Samuels asked that, because a lot of low dudes, if you don't have nothing going for you, at least you have your penis. If you have a large size, same thing with a woman. A woman could have nothing going for her, but if she knows how to use her vagina, that's the only thing that's saving her and giving her a possibility to get with other people. So I like that. I personally like that way, because it really shows that he had a lot more of a disdain for men that weren't on their job. That's why he was telling them how to dress. He was telling them what fragrance to get. He was telling them how to level up. And he was telling them, man, you get your pockets up so you can be in a boss procedure to get who you need to get to. So, you know, I'll land my plane on that.
He ain't told no lie, man. Like, that's real. And I think that, you know, I wish he was here so we could get some clarity from him, because I see when I was on Facebook, unfortunately, I can't get to my comments, but I saw variations of that type of comment where men would say, they wouldn't say no social media per se. Granted, he's a public figure, so it's a little different for him. I understand where he's coming from specifically as opposed to somebody else. But a lot of men had restrictive, even Alan in the chat, he's like, you know, she can be on social media as long as she's not, you know, posting selfies and whatever, all that shit. You go on a woman's page and you see a whole bunch of selfies, that's a red flag.
You know what I'm saying? Alan typed in that favorite line right there.
What line?
What was that? She doesn't even get a big dick.
You don't even get that.
Pause. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing? Hey, it is what it is, though. Yeah. But it's the thing, like, when you see women on here, they posting selfies all the time. You have to ask yourself, for what purpose? You know what I'm saying? And you see it go on a woman's page and you see that she has, I went on a girl's page I was talking to one time, and she had, I think it was like 500 selfies, like, and she had only opened her page. She was like, it was new. And you got like 500 selfies, and, you know, she's showing cleavage. And man, I dumped her that day. That was the last time I talked to her. I'd never seen her social media, but I kind of was intrigued by her. And I saw all these selfies, and, you know, she's just trying to look cute and doing the duck lips. You come off as a bird brain to a lot of guys when they see that on your social media. I'm just keeping it real. You know, now, with the exception, there's a caveat. Some of these women do beauty tutorials. You know, some of these women are makeup artists. You know, and some of these women, you know, they have something where, you know, there's some type of, maybe some women have full-blown careers online. You know, I watch Dee Dee's Reactions, Just a Girl podcast, Sabby Sabs is some of my favorites, Chantel Simone. These sisters are brilliant, and I watch them all the time. And, you know, when you come online, and even, you know, on your page, you have to look away. You have to do something to allure the people, bring them in, and you have to be consistent. That's different. If you work at Regions Bank, you know what I'm saying? Or you work at goddamn, I don't know, you do customer service. You don't even talk to nobody. You do customer service for Norwegian Cruise Lines. And you got, you know, 400-500 selfies on your page where your face all made up and you looking at the camera all sexually. And even worse, the ones that got to show the ass shots or whatever and all this. Those pictures And then these women wonder why they can't catch men that take them seriously. Those pictures used to be reserved back in the day. You know, a guy that you like, you want to flirt with him, you send him a little sexy picture. Now any scrub can go on your Instagram or your TikTok or whatever and see the same thing. You're cheapening yourself.
You know the funny thing is,
value away from yourself. Go ahead, Bobby.
If you were to go to somebody's house, and everywhere you look, you go in the foyer, you take a peek at the kitchen, you look in the living room, the bedroom, and all you saw were a whole bunch of pictures of them all over the place. The first thing you would do is try to figure out where the exits are and try to see if you can look at the time. You know, I got an appointment, right? I got we'll catch them later on. You would try to get the hell up out of it because you would swear up and down that you was locked in there with Jeffrey Dahmer's half sister.
This person is a weirdo.
This person is not wired right. That elevator ain't touching the penthouse suite just quite yet.
That's what I'm saying.
But you go on social media and it's a bajillion pictures, some of them the same exact thing, very little difference, but that's supposed to be normal. Just personally speaking, I'm like y'all with that vein. I don't have an issue with a woman that has social media. That's not a problem for me.
Yeah.
In just about every area of my life, when it comes to people, I'm about the qualitative. I'm about the quality. I don't have an issue with you being on social media. I'm always looking to see what you're doing on social media. Because like you said, if you have someone, it is dangerous for a man, dangerous for a woman too. It's dangerous to be with people who have a hunger and a craving for validation from outside themselves. That is dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
It can be the danger can be something as light as, you know, they're entertaining the intentions and affections of other people. It can be something extreme as they're literally inviting, you know, suspect people around you because that those people are using that validation as a way of getting access. It can be all over the place. Like a perfect example would be what's the brother's name? PNB Rock. He out there and his girlfriend out there, she's seeking all kinds of validation. Out here with my man. The opposite out with his lady? Perfect. Let's pull up right quick. So it can be a real out here. People who are hungry to be noticed. Notice me, notice me, notice me, notice me, notice me.
Right.
And especially if that's not from the person you're with. Now, again, your primary source of validation should not come from outside of yourself. That's insecurity. If you need the crowd to go ahead and give you that validation, that's a problem. If you need your significant other to give you validation, that is less problematic, but that's still a problem. Your validation should come from yourself. It should come from God or whatever spiritual practice you fall under. That should come from the deity that you respect or revere, number one. And then number two, it should come from you, how you feel about yourself. And then everybody else can pour into you. And from there, it's your family and the person that you're with. And then it's the strangers, whoever on the street. But if your mood literally goes up and down based on how many likes you're getting today, how many thirst comments that you're getting, that's a problem.
And
any dude that thinks that's cool or, man, I'm not insecure, man. All right, bud. She might not tell you out loud, but she for the game. She for the game.
Facts.
So you have to be mindful of that, man. And again, we talk about red flags.
Right.
Some red flags are really well hidden. They're tucked behind a tree or a bush. You got to go hunting for it. But there's some that are waving in your face, slapping you. They paper cutting your lips and your forehead and all stuff up, whatever.
Yeah.
When you have those, you have no one to blame but yourself when it goes south. So when you get the freebie, when you get the gift, the red flag right there, don't try and rationalize it. Don't try and, well, maybe it's not that bad. No, you have the red flag.
Mm-hmm.
You're not always guaranteed. You're not guaranteed to get one red flag. So if you get the one, don't try and double your money. Well, let me check again. No, you got the one, man, but you got the warning. How many do you need? Get out of there.
That's it. That's it. It's simple as that. And people don't understand that. You know, this is a big deal, man. Like, you know, it really, really affects people in dating. I want to show this picture. because this is the flyer for this week's show. I wanted to show this before we get into our last story, because I think this says a lot, right? What do men really find attractive or not attractive in women? And if you look to the left, you see 3 young ladies, right? And you look to the right, and you see another 3 young ladies. And the difference in these young ladies, aside from the way that they dress, is the way that they act. I want people to understand that. You know, the 3 ladies on the left, I'm going to do a test on this. I think I might do a part 2 to this show, because this is at the crux of what we talk about on this show. You know what I'm saying? I might do a one for the women too, see how their response is. But people talk past each other when it comes to dating and relationships. They're not listening to, understanding, and internalizing the likes of the other side. And women will tell you straight up, they don't care what men like. Well, how the fuck do you expect to have a successful involvement with a man? Goofy. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to tighten up on this. You know, you look at these women here, and I was talking to some of my partners, and all of them were pretty much in agreement, just like on the hair, just like on the BBL or natural, that these 3 women on the left, not a one of them will consider dating seriously, wifing, not even banging over an extended period of time. Lizzo, they just said they wouldn't bother with her altogether. None of them. Okay? And I was with some of my partners just last night. We having conversations about this type of stuff. All 3 of the women on the right-hand side of this picture, however, in contrast, every one of those guys say, yeah, that's a wife. They don't know these women. They haven't had any involvements with these women. They're just looking, just the eye test. Women don't understand how real the eye test is with men. Based on what these women look like from the eye, they've already decided, they've already put them into categories. But I'm trying to get through some of you ladies' heads. I want you ladies to understand. They are, when you dress like Ari's dressed there, like Sexy Red is dressed, oh my God, how Lizzo's dressed there. When men see you, they just put you in the hoe box. They, fairly or unfairly, you may be a wonderful person. You may be a perfectly decent woman, but they're going to put you in the hoe box. And I'm not even shading those sisters, because this is not about them. It is about the way that they are presenting and making a point about presentation. The sisters on the right, every guy that I talked to, that I asked about these women, said, yeah, that's a wife. Yeah, that's a wife. Oh, damn. They're picking wives from the right-hand side of the screen. And most of the wives that were chosen were, what's the name? Shorty that used to be on 101. What's her name again?
Kyla Pratt.
Kyla Pratt.
Yeah.
Kyla Pratt was chosen as the top wife. And the sister from Sinners was right behind her. The sister from Sinners and Erica Tazel, Jamie Lawson and Erica Tazel, I want to make sure I get their names in there. They were tied. You know what I'm saying? I think it was like 3-3, but it was close. But nobody's even considering wifing those women on the left. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm just saying. I ain't saying, but I'm just saying. But check this out.
What list was that? What list was that? Was that the list with Layla Rashawn that you had posted?
No, not that one. This is some conversations that I had with some homies outside.
Oh,
like when I was
gotcha.
Touching grass, talking to some of the homies, whatever. I brought up the picture. I'm like, yo, let me ask you this, because what I'm seeing is like people want to be more interactive. You know what I'm saying? Like, we do a great show, but we don't get people as involved. You know, you notice we have quite a bit of people in the chat tonight. I think it's because we're being more interactive with, you know, okay, hey guys, what do y'all think of this? You know, we're gonna talk about it on the show. And then they want to see, okay, exactly where it go in the conversation. You know what I mean? So like, I think that's, you know, a really, really good thing for people to really feel like they're a part of it and like we're really hearing them. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I think we're going to do I'm going to do a lot more of that. So without further ado, I want to get into our main conversation tonight, right? And this is what we kicked the hornet's nest. We got a lot of people upset with this particular video this week. I thought it was a good video. We're gonna play it. We're gonna talk about it because people found this offensive, and this is the real bullshit. Let's check it out. Right here is distraught because she went to a singles event at the church and wasn't no men. Got him! Let's get right into it.
Just sitting here thinking about how I went to singles night at church and it was hundreds. I mean, at least 1,000. First, I thought it was 500, but the pastor said it was 1,000 singles in attendance. Like, are we all living the same life at this point?
Basically.
Because I've never been in a room with that many single people, or even thought that it was even, I thought I was like the only one left. A room full of singles. And I'm like, this has to be an experiment. This has to be like assimilation. I'm confused and I'm like low-key like nervous.
You don't
like
get it.
For us. Well, shit for myself, fuck y'all. Because where are the men? Where are the men? Then again, don't know. Never mind. We know where they at. Bye.
Ladies, let me be very direct with y'all. A lot of men in this day and age have made the calculation that with dating, a lot of times, the juice is just not worth the squeeze. Simply put, a lot of y'all are just not worth the trouble. And that's not to say that a lot of y'all are not good quality, decent women, but too many of y'all are chicken heads. And we're making the calculation before we even get to these dating events that it ain't really gonna be popping like that, so why bother? They're not showing up. And it's because of a lot of you ladies' actions. A lot of y'all sit online all day. Your entire online identity is about bashing men, berating men, talking down on men. Oh, the men ain't shit. Oh, the men ain't this, the men ain't that. All y'all men is broke. I ain't going 50-50 with no man. If you want her to submit, you got to take her out of survival mode. And all this bullshit. A goddamn study came out talking about how 1 in 3 women go on a date just for some free food, just for a free meal. And you wonder why don't nobody want to come out and meet your ass? I don't. And I'm all for love. I'm all for getting married and all that. I'm married. I'm married to a black woman, by the way. But let's just keep it a buck. She asks, where are the men? The men are somewhere enjoying their peace because unfortunately, a lot of y'all women show up as combative. I go online every day. I see some woman out of the clear blue sky just posting some bullshit about men and how bad men are and how much they can't stand men and how annoying men are. Oh, the men is all broke. The men ain't shit. The men ain't paying for dates. The men this, the men that. My baby daddy ain't shit. The men don't eat enough ass. It's always some bullshit. And the men are like, man, we don't need this shit. Manifestations 2020. I mean, I said my piece, so I don't even need to speak on this one. What y'all say? What did I say wrong? Talk to me, man.
Nothing wrong with what women are seeing. They're seeing the fruits of their labor, meaning that they're seeing everything that they did to men is now coming back to them. When you call men sassy, it's coming back to y'all. When you sat back and say men ain't out here, men are acting like the new women because they're asking you to show reciprocal energy. People don't even understand. Like when in the past, and I was talking to women and I would call women out the blue and I'd just be like, hey, I'm just checking on you today just to see what's up. Now, if this somebody that has said that they were interested in me, did I get a call back out the blue and, hey, I'm just checking on you? No. And guess what? I had to leave that situation because if I have enough thoughts at that moment to check on you because I value you and you can't reciprocate that, then what the hell? Why would I even engage with a relationship, much less going towards marriage? That's going to be a whole headache. And a lot of women don't understand that your reciprocal energy matters. It's not you chasing a man. It's showing that you care about him, whether it's checking on his day, just saying, hey, I'm thinking about you, or whatever the case may be. So that way he knows, like, damn, Shorty's really, vibing me. And it's less pressure for him because now he knows that you're there genuinely and not there because he might have some money or the way he looks or the kind of car he drives. So women have to understand that part. I could tell by the woman in this video, she's got issues too. And what I would say her issue would be is that I don't know anything about her, mentally, right? But I can tell you physically that your nails are connected to Sexy Red. Because if you look at her nails, Sexy Red was the one that came out with them nails where they put little characters on the end of it. If you go back and look at her nails, you'll see that they're not regular nails. They got added on bulges on the bottom.
Yeah.
That is a turn off to a lot of men. Y'all women with these long nails, y'all don't understand. That's a major turn off. And y'all getting this from Cardi B and all these other Megan Thee Stallion and all these other buffoons that's programming y'all to having these long fucking nails that looks hideous. Because guess what? When you're with a man, and you guys always say you want a corporate type man, a prestigious type man, when he's in his corporate office or for you to come by his corporate office, if he's getting invited to his Christmas party by his company, you have to be the one to be with him. Your image shows what type of man he is. And coming in there with the essence of a Sexy Red, and this man is a Morris Chestnut, Denzel Washington, it looks bad for him. Because even though you might be with him, people are going to assume, like, damn, he couldn't even get a date. He probably paid for a hooker. Now this goes back to the whole Julia Roberts thing.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So y'all got to understand there's little things that men see that why they don't approach you and they don't tell you these things. Because guess what? When they tell you, you either ignore it or you call them sassy for quote unquote going back and forth with a woman. So men, like Major says, is enjoying their peace, and they rather find a woman that is so engulfed in her femininity that her femininity is so powerful that it creates an atmosphere of peace. That's where he's going. I'll land my plane.
All facts. Bobby Drake, what you got, man? He cooked on that. I love it. What you got, fam? Bobby?
Again, you ask questions, but the question is, do you really want the answer? Like you said, a lot of men have checked out or are uninterested. You know, the funny thing is one of the common conversations that always gets brought up every several weeks or so, because the vibes were good for the most part. It was a great time to be alive, especially if you were an adult or a young adult in that time span. But everybody raves about the 90s and the 2000s and just the whole spirit of how everything was, the music, the culture, where it was at that time. Wasn't perfect by a long shot, but the good vibes were definitely there. And a lot of the music, the entertainment at that time was very cohesive as far as creating that good vibe and that good energies. One of the things that's always revisited was what the clubs were like at the time, parties and nightclubs. People would go, and it's the dress code. They had you come in formal or semi-business, whatever. And people used to be out there when they dress slacks, they button-up shirts, ties in some cases, and they would go at 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night. They would leave in the wee hours of the morning, soaked, covered in sweat, perspiration, exhausted. You talk about a full-body workout like never before, but everyone had an amazing time. People would dance with each other.
Right.
Nowadays, everybody gets sections. Everybody's on the wall. They're on their phones. They're got the little, going live, all of the stuff. Antisocial as hell. There's nothing for people to go out for. There's no actual interactions. People pay that good money to go out to the club, not to get drunk. You can do that at home or at a small house party.
Right.
They go out to dance and have fun, have a good time. Men are practical creatures. Women will go out to the club so they can sit in VIP and feel cool and feel good and take pictures and, I was in such and such place. Dudes, for the most part, when we spend money, it's for a purpose.
Right.
We're very mindful of how much effort it takes for us to make our dollars. We ain't trying to waste it. We want the most ROI, return on investment. And dudes ain't dropping a whole bunch of money to go up to the club to dance with women, to meet women, and all the women are clicked up in the corner. You miss it, come near. It's bye. Attitudes. They don't want to dance. They dancing on each other. A whole bunch of lipstick lesbianism going on. Dudes like, forget that. No.
Hold up. Yeah.
And you got dudes going, that she's talking about specifically at the church, and I'm saying this as a brother that still goes to church, still practicing. A lot of these dudes know that, unfortunately, the church has picked up a reputation as being a hoe / loose woman / undesirable rest haven.
Yeah.
It's the retirement castle. This is the place where you go to find women who, for the most part, are either otherwise unattractive or who have literally burnt themselves out and they're now trying to go ahead and rehab and refurbish their image. And the dudes ain't going for that.
Yeah.
They're like, look, especially if I'm a brother who has played my cards right, I don't have any of the drama and the issues that these other deadbeat dudes have. I'm not going to go out here and, since we pissing people off, I'll keep the ball rolling. I'm not looking to go out here and be Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be Future, but I'm damn sure not trying to be Russell Wilson.
Right.
I should definitely have someone able to meet me and match me where I'm at. I'm not about to go ahead and drop my value. I know my worth. Clock it. I know my worth. I'm not about to undercut myself and settle for less than what I deserve. If I'm pulling up here with $100,000 of worth of value, I need a woman that's going to meet me here with $100,000 worth of value. I'm not scuffing my price range, and it's not worth it. I was on a post earlier. Shout out to my brother Blair Nash. He asked. He dropped a post saying, just for feedback, a post that said the reason why a lot of men are single is because the character of the, or rather I should say, the attractiveness of the women that they want, or excuse me, backwards. The character, the internal attributes of the woman they want are not in the attractive women for the most part. And there was a lot of good feedback, in there.
Fair.
There was one comment that I saw that was really, there's a couple solid ones. But dude Juan, he was really go ahead and knock him out the park.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm going to read this exchange really quickly because there's some juice in here. So he's going back and forth with my other guy, Eugene. He said, here's the thing most folks don't see, and it is basic pattern recognition. Heart disease, and he was talking about, again, the physical attributes. Heart disease, because there's some women who are also trying to make the correlation. Well, a lot of the men ain't in shape either. Men die of heart disease. Here's the thing that most folks don't see, and it's basic pattern recognition. Heart disease connotates high cortisol levels. Because most women have the tendency to be anxious by nature due to epigenetic factors that manipulates the hormones, they will bring that to males who orbit them, and you can abductively deduce and correlate that most of that cortisol spike stems from women in their lives. I recently got my checkup, and even my doctor noticed that my cortisol levels have plummeted massively due to the fact that I wasn't fraternizing with dysregulated women. So the heart disease comment on the post doesn't understand basic correlation and is remedial at best. Show males that they can choose a better quality of women and watch their cortisol levels change drastically. My guy Eugene chimed in and said, man, you're preaching. Since I left my toxic ex-girlfriend in 2019, I was aging backwards for a few years. All of my health markers improved. Juan went on further, and this one I'm going to end here with what he said. He said, bro, you anecdotally proved my point. The very same people black men are compelled to choose are the very same people offing us just by being around them. That is the thing most of these women don't realize, that being around them is worse than smoking cigarettes. I remember I saw this episode of 1,000 Ways to Die on Spike TV years ago, in which this dude was married and he all of a sudden passed out and died. And when they did an autopsy, it showed that this guy, who had a quiet job as the manager of the browsing room at the Library of Congress, died because his cortisol levels were worse than soldiers who have been in and survived 3 wars.
That's wild.
Just being around and trying to have sex with his wife killed him. So again, you ask, where are the men? And this also ties back into the feedback that you got from your post earlier, Major.
Yeah.
What are men most attracted in women? Dudes not even mentioning physical attributes. All they talk about are the internal attributes, ones that are going to create a better quality of life, not ones that's going to get the dicks hard.
That's it. And once
that's going to
women
make their hearts softer.
Yeah. And once women start understanding that, we cooking, man. We cooking. I'm gonna try this again. I think I found the secret to being able to share my screen. I hope it does it this time.
Fingers crossed.
Are y'all seeing my screen? Hold on. Got it. Okay. Do you see my screen? No, you don't, because I don't see it. Why does this thing do that? I'm gonna figure this out for the next show, because I really, really wanted to show like some of the stuff that the fellas were saying and just kind of scroll down the damn screen, because these brothers were cooking, man. I'm gonna just take some screenshots of them, but in the meantime, you know, I just want to talk just a little bit more about that clip, you know, because again, I said most of what I had to say on that clip, but I really want people to understand, you know, the gist of this and why what I'm saying is so significant on there, you know, because we had two people really, really try to attack and shit on that post and act like, you know, we were saying something evil or something wrong or whatever the case may be. And I think that it really, you know, with Claude, everything always goes over his head. You know what I'm saying? People are not understanding. The lady is asking a question. She wants answers as to why men have checked out. I don't know what better way to help people than to actually, first of all, just answer the damn question. Because if you answer the question, then men will stop checking out and men will start showing up again. You know, but as long as women are treating brothers like that, it just ain't gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? It's just not gonna happen. I think that, I don't know, what do y'all think? What do y'all think are some things that low-key women can do to get men to come back into the fold? Dee asked on her show, you know, if women came to the, you know, if some women were coming to the table in good faith, do y'all think y'all would, you know, and some of the brothers are like, yeah, you know, that's all we want. Some of the brothers are like, nah, fuck them. I'm finding women overseas. Like these guys are just, a lot of brothers have completely checked out. What are some ideas that y'all have that you feel can bring brothers back into the fold? Talk to me on that. Hello?
I think that one of the main things is
before, my bad. Go ahead.
Oh, you was talking on mute? Go ahead.
Yeah, my bad. I just want to say that in regards to Claude and the girl Nick, there is no classroom where all the students understand the teacher and they pass the test. Mm-hmm. You're gonna have people that's in the class just to be in the class, don't want to learn nothing, taking up space. So we will never have 100% agreement. We're gonna have some detractors, everything. So everybody in this world, from Tupac to Biggie, there's people that love them and there's people that hate them. It's just what the world is. But the problem is, you can hate other people for invalid reasons, but you can't hate us for invalid reasons, because we have valid reasons that we state. So most of the time, when you sit back and try to combat that with emotions, you're going to get frustrated and you're going to hate us because we don't align with your opinions. We align with the facts. All right. Now, bringing men to the table, I think one thing you said about the men are fleeing to overseas, that is a gamble. That is a gamble. You know, because I just saw an article about a guy getting arrested in Brazil for being a passport bro, going over there having underage sex with multiple girls over there. So there's a lot of degenerate passport bros too. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You got some guys that do have great encounters and guys that have successful marriages with women overseas. Mm-hmm. But the overall coming to the table, you just got to have good faith. You got to have guys in good faith, guys that did the work, guys that understand that they're moving with intentions, and also have women to the table with the same mindset. Like you have a bunch of fellas like us, just like the bunch of women that we had these private conversations with that were asking us what it. When you have good faith on both sides, you'll see the work itself within the realms of that room. But when you have people that aren't doing the work together, it kind of looks like that sassy table, round table that we discussed the other day. And I'll land my plane on that.
You ain't told no lie, bro. You ain't told no lie. Good brother Bobby Drake, talk to me real quick. What are your solutions for helping some of the men that have checked out come back to the table? Because I don't like seeing it like this. You know what I'm saying? We want to get the men back in the fold because that's how we make progress. Talk to me about what that looks like. Let's go.
I definitely for 3 seconds have to echo what Ant said about the whole Passport Brothers movement not being it. Again, if you're just looking at to literally expand your options, then that's perfectly fine and good. But the reality of the situation is, and a lot of dudes have found this out the hard way, that they're starting to now begrudgingly say what those of us that knew better were saying back then now. Understand that women are women everywhere. There's no magical land that you're going to go to where somehow this batch of women, this colony of women, is different from their sisters all around the globe. A lot of the things that we're dealing with and bumping into are really just elements of female nature. And in some cases, some of those weaknesses or soft spots have been exploited here in the society, but they're still there. And that's why a lot of them are saying, well, if you find a woman over there, you can't bring her back to the States. You have to stay there. All well and good. But see, here's the thing now. You are a guest. It doesn't matter if it doesn't matter if y'all get married and even have children. You are not of their culture. You are a guest, which means you now have to behave according to the cultures and principles of her society, which is all cool if you don't mind doing that. But don't try to go ahead and run the show like you back in America when you're in another place where you're not native, where even if you know the language, you don't have the tongue, they can tell that you're not from there. It's going to go badly for you. You have to operate in alignment with that. And also, you're on your own. It's literally the society versus you if things go bad. And when it's all said and done, who do you think they're going to side with? Not your ass. You are much better off here with all the issues that we have, with the lay of the land that you're already familiar with. You already know the culture, the customs, and everything. You can better navigate here than someplace completely different. So get that out your head. As far as what women need to do, it's very simple. Before we even talk about how to get men back to the table for relationship purposes, you need to work on how to be better people, period. Relationships don't start with people walking up together and saying, we go together now. No.
Yeah.
You got to bump into people. You got to walk past them. You have to have exchanges and conversations.
Mm-hmm.
If you are not a good person to encounter, to bump into, there's no way we could talk about me coming back to the table, even considering you to be in a relationship. You got your rabbit ass mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
What we're talking about, and while it might not be the most polite thing for some people to say in certain circumstances, when you have dudes saying the general consensus is it's dangerous to ask women to smile or even say something like, you should smile, just trying to get them to not to be rude or commanding, but just, put a smile on your face. The day is rough. You just want to, encourage you. Smile. It's good. And they're being met with resistance. How dare you? I can't ask you for the time because it looked like I'm about to go ahead and drag you by the alley and have my way with you or whatever.
Come on now.
If you live this perpetual, I choose the bear mindset.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How can you talk about how can we get them back to the table? You have to be an appetizing person to be around.
That's real. Right.
Can we be civil again?
I hear you. Let me stop you though. I hear you. Just give me a real quick solution. I get, that, they pushing the men away from the table. Real quick though. How do we get them back? As men, You know what I'm saying? Even how does anybody help get them back is the question. Real quick.
How do we get the men back to the table? Very simple. Exactly what I was saying before. Work on being civil. If you have, and this is where the self-work comes in, a lot of y'all are going to have to go and get therapy because you might have some very real hang-ups that can maybe have had some very real origins. Maybe you have had some traumatic situations that have happened to you. And I'm not knocking that or discrediting anybody. I'm seeing that and I'm empathetic to that.
Those are
However, that doesn't absolve you of your personal responsibility. What happened to you, and I'm saying this all the time, what happened to you is not your fault, but it is still your responsibility. You have to do the work to get yourself back to good again. So work on that, become a more appetizing, friendly, amicable person. Dudes will see that. Even if they don't interact with you, they'll see you with a smile on your face. They'll see you with the pep in your step. They say, hey, you say hi to them. They don't have to go ahead and initiate it. You're just being kind and friendly in public. They see that, and when they start seeing, oh, I thought this was a one-off. Women are starting to be friendlier. They're kinder now.
Yeah.
You know, that's going to naturally start, again, that's going to naturally start bringing the best out of men again. So when dudes see that you are now a more pleasant person to be around and it's not phony, it's not superficial, you're not doing it because you need some help with the groceries or because you're behind your rent, but they said you're literally being a better person for the hell of it without any give me something back in return. Then you will start winning the trust of men again where they say, okay, it's looking like our women are a safe space again.
Okay.
Maybe I can take that risk. But until dudes see that you are a safe space that you are clearing to land, they ain't doing it. They ain't going. And they shouldn't go. And they shouldn't go.
Alan in the chat agrees with you. You had to get Alan on the show one day. Alan cooking in the chat. Boy, he's chefing.
Alan Morand knows ball.
That's what it is, gang. Like,
that brother knows ball.
Reciprocity. You know what I'm saying? Like men are really, really drawing a line in the sand and telling women, not saying that we don't love you or we don't want you or whatever the case may be, but they are making very specific demands and they're telling you, hey, you need to be an active participant. You can't just be an observer no more. You need to be active participants. You need to show me that you want me, that you love me the same way I'm showing that that I want you and I love you.
EA Sports, get in the game.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? And on that note, good brothers, because you know me. I have my parts of the show that I like, and I have my parts of the show that I love. Y'all know I love this part of the show. We're gonna get into the crown check. You already know.
The crown check segment where we honor our queens. Respect.
Our crown check today goes out to our good sister, the legend, the myth. You understand? Like the personality, the aura. Our good sister, Cheryl Salt James. And I want to make sure that I shout out Salt and Pepper because, you know, Outkast was inducted into the Hall of Fame, which is great. We salute those brothers. We respect them. But Salt and Pepper was saluted at the same time and entered into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And nobody really talked about it because Outkast was inducted at the same time. So I want to make sure I shout outs to Salt and Pepper for being inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Those sisters are phenomenal. And shout out to our good sister, Cheryl Salt James from Salt and Pepper. She came out spitting this week, and I had to make sure I put this video up because sister is telling it about, you know, the state that we're in and, you know, how she's feeling surrounding the Epstein files and so forth. This sister is heavy. You know, shout out to her. Good Lord, it's not playing. Hold on. There you go.
Y'all, so the cat's out the bag. I've been studying this type of thing for years, but you can't really talk about it because people will think that you're crazy. So now we know Satanists and Luciferians run the world. 2 Corinthians, it describes that Satan is the god of this world. They own the government, politics, Democrats and Republicans, the court system, the education system, the banks, the Federal Reserve, real estate, farms, Hollywood, what we watch, music, what we listen to, media, what we believe, sports, big pharma, everything. We pay their taxes, we work their jobs, we buy their houses. We don't own anything really, because even if we paid for a house outright, if we miss paying taxes one time, they can take the home. We've been pitted against each other like crazy forever. Black versus white, rich versus poor, men versus women, Democrats versus Republicans, Muslims against Christians. We fight over narratives that they've created to keep us divided while they're doing whatever they want. Hunting, killing, sexually assaulting, sacrificing, torturing, cannibalizing, yes, cannibalizing, and organ harvesting our children. Grooming them and over-sexualizing them, teaching them inappropriate things in school. They start wars and they tell us it's this country or that country, or it's this religion, who's our enemy. And our kids go to war to defend lies. They fund both sides of the war and make billions of dollars while our family members are sacrificed.
Sister is spitting and doing the Lord's work, man. Shout out, yo. Sister start spitting and couldn't stop. Shout out to her, man. Listen, it's kind of long, so I didn't play the whole thing. It's not long, but it's podcast for a podcast, and it's a segment, it gets a little long or whatever. So shout out to that sister. That was powerful. We need more sisters that have a platform speaking out like that. She was pulling no punches and she put it down exactly how it is. And I could go into explicit detail about how these people are Luciferians. I've talked about it before, about how some of these, sex parties are not actual sex parties. These people are Thelemites. They're part of Aleister Crowley's religion, and they believe that doing all this type of ritual sex magic gives them demonic blessings and so forth. Man, it's deep. It's deep. It's a lot of it is rooted in Freemasonry. When you hear about the Epsteins, the Weinsteins, the Diddy's, and all these other people, that's really what's going on. And she was alluding to that, but she was just talking about how, we talk about white supremacy, but white supremacy and Luciferianism are in tandem. And people really don't understand how that works. These people, they start talking, you read the Epstein files, they're talking about how they sacrifice children in there, how they've done organ harvesting in there, how they, have these hunting parties, and all that sick Silence of the Lamb shit is in the files if you read them, and I thought that was extraordinarily powerful. I encourage you, go to her page, follow her, support her new single, and really, really give her some flowers, because sister is speaking nothing but the truth. She's a devout Christian now. She's totally, removed herself from the secular world or whatever. And I really, really salute that sister for having the discipline and carrying herself in a regal capacity and representing Black women well. Shout out to our good sister, Cheryl Salt James. Go ahead and talk to us and get us out of here. Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to her, man. When people get older in their latter years of life, they start being coons. They want to try to make stuff right before they exit this world and go on this whole tyrant of, we need to be together and all of this stuff. But she actually was pointing out a lot of the stuff that a lot of people get silenced for. So she is pretty much comfortable with, hey, if they take me out, they take me out. I live my life. I got my children. Everybody's good, but I'm not afraid to say what I need to say. And I feel like now that the stage is on me, because I got this, I got the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame award. Now everybody's watching. So now for me to say this, now my voice is heightened to a way bigger platform now, because people are watching us now. So this is a perfect time for me to sit there and tell the truth to the world, which I thought was super, super dope. Shout out to her. Yo, I do want to say, Pepper, come on, baby. You was I really fell in love with Pepper before I fell in love with Salt. Okay. Pepper, that dark-skinned Pepper, and then I found out she was Jamaican, that was my little crush coming up. Spinderella started looking good, and then I just started drifting over to Spinderella. But Pepper, during this Hall of Fame thing, everybody was wondering what was going on with her, because her whole transformation it's on that Nene Leaks trend that a lot of black women are doing. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't look good because now you start to be like the little Kim and all these other people that are alternating their physical to look a certain way. Baby girl, you were beautiful from before. You didn't need to change yourself like that. Hey, that's your personal thing. But we still love you. And I just wanted to address that because a lot of people were concerned about her new look. And I land my plane on that.
Fair enough. Bobby Drake, what you got?
Yes, sir. Big salute to the sister. Like you said, man, unfortunately, it seems that a lot of us, as they get older in age, the sambo and the butt dance and everything comes on right down the pike. But it's beautiful to see folks aging backwards physically, but aging forward mentally as they get older too. It's wonderful to see it. And when you have it before you, definitely got to tip your hat, definitely got to salute it and give it the honor that it deserves.
Yeah.
Everybody, we want to thank you all for tuning in this evening, joining with us as we have this very important conversation, getting into the nitty-gritty about what do men really like and dislike in women. And we have to understand first and foremost that the key part, one of the key words in the topic is what do men really like or not like in women. In women. We're not talking about hatred of women, disdain for women. We're not talking about any sort of misogyny, what have you. We're talking about preferences.
Right.
What that men are really looking for. What is it that is turning them away? If we're going to conversations, likes and preferences, coming back to the table, dealing with each other, seeing value in one another, being able to properly come together, we have to accept the fact that everything we hear is not going to be pleasant. There's going to be some things, some elements that are disqualified from the conversation. That's going to disqualify us from the selection process.
Yeah.
And we have to make a decision in our minds. We have to decide, is what I'm hearing something that I can work on or just accept amicably, or is it something that I'm going to rage against? If it pisses you off, I'd say that means that there's room for improvement, and that's signs of a growth moment. There's an opportunity there for you to become a better person all the way around. If you just allow it. We're not supposed to be at each other's throats or pissed off because someone says, I don't like this about you, or I do like that about you. That should trigger us. As people, to come together, to work together, we have to be able to get on the same page. And even if all the boxes aren't checked, there should be enough there for us to be able to say, well, we can still move forward, or even if it's not a romantic fashion, this doesn't cause me to feel one way about you or the other. You're still my brother, you're still my sister, I still love you, you're still family, we can still be good together with each other, even if it's not in the romantic sense.
Yeah.
But this zero-sum game we're trying to play is not it.
Yeah.
You've got to grow up and mature at some point. Hopefully this will be the start of that. Hopefully this will be the beginning. This will be the nexus, and this will catapult us forward. We're definitely going to revisit this later on in the year. Probably again, there's going to be part 2. It's worth it. A lot of meat still on the bone, and we like to try and be thorough. So we're going to give that the proper attention that it's due, so we can get ourselves to where we need to be. Want to give a special shout out to our folks in the comments tonight. Want to show mad love to Miller Renee, Alan. Big ups to you. And our wonderful sister, Tamara, a.k.a. Lanice 1978. We appreciate you not just for your feedback, but also for being brave enough to hop on stage and also to show the world that we might have some big fangs, but we don't bite.
Nah, we don't. We really don't. Make sure you hit the likes. Hit the likes. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And Bobby Drake doesn't like septic rings.
Hey, I'm a law-abiding citizen, and I obey the law that is septum ring law. I obey that law. Absolutely. Has not steered me wrong once. Our YouTube crew, we appreciate you guys. IG fam, much love. Facebook Mafia, you know what it is. We appreciate you all. If you haven't done it yet, we know you have, but humor me. If you haven't, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We know you already hit the like button. Make sure you share it with some person. Make sure you share it with your friend, an enemy, boss, subordinate, coworker, your neighbor. Share it with your ex. They probably would really love to get some of that. Share it with your current significant other. whoever, however, whenever, wherever. Also, make sure you hit the bell icon so you can get all of our notifications. We're not going to go crazy in your timeline, but when it is time for us to go live and do what we do, you will get the invite extended to join us live and direct. And also a shout out to all the folks catching us on the replay. We are Manversations 2020. This fella right here is Anthony Malcolm. My man's over here is Major Gage. I am Bobby Drake. Good night. God bless.
Yeah.
Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manversations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You gotta eat what you kill. You gotta go out there, you gotta hunt for your meals.
We all have that ability to connect with people, to be that motivational person in somebody's life.
You gotta let people know there's certain lines you don't cross and that there's gonna be consequences if you do.
Man up.
If you are an adult and you are in a relationship, that person's emotions are not your responsibility.
Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
The devil, during slavery, destroyed the masculinity or manhood of the so-called Negro. No man. Right now you got to be trained all over again to be a man.
When someone is obligated to do something, it is binding upon them to do it. And failure to do it causes reaction.
Man up.
Well, you shall make you rich. I don't have that type of richness. My richness is life forever.
If that people knew their glorious past, if that people knew their glorious past, if that people knew their glorious past, then they would be more inclined to respect themselves.
I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job, is to spark somebody else watching us.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manversations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You want to tell me about yourself? Go get your friends. I'll tell you who you are based on who your friends are.
Don't just live and die. That's an ugly existence. Make your life matter, make your life count. Live a life where people can actually mourn you for the things you left behind, not just because you were around and existed.
We need strong black nuclear family.
Yes.
That's what it is. Mother, father, son, daughter, all in the same house with a focus on the family unit as a whole.
We had Tulsa, Atlanta, New Jersey, Detroit. We had Rosewood. We had Black Wall Streets all over.
The Republicans aren't for us, but the Democrats aren't for us either. And we should have no alliance to any political party. We only have alliance to what is in our own best interest.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manversations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
At the end of the day, as men in the community, we must stand together and be counted, because people look to us for guidance, leadership, and protection. And if we are not about that business, we are not on our job. Here we have grown-ass man conversations in the spirit of that purpose. Anthony Malcolm, Bobby Drake, Major Gage, we are. This is Manversations 2020.
Manversations. Man up. Manversation.
A place where we inform, build, and
Man up.
inspire.